There's a tendency to think that what teen drivers need is to improve their technical skills by doing an advanced driving course with the likes of Dale here. The problem with teaching those kind of advanced driving skills, though, is that then people get really confident and they think they really are Dale rather than they've had an hour with Dale. Now, I felt a bit like that. You know, I got back in my car and I felt I didn't rally drive, but I thought I could if I wanted to. I bet you I could, I bet you I could, I bet you I'll be a bit better. But because I've got a prefrontal cortex, it said, no, you're just an idiot, so don't do that. But I know for a fact, if I was 15 and I went off and did a slidey course, I'm pretty sure I would get an exaggerated sense of my ability to control a car, and that would probably lead me into more trouble. What teens do need is to develop their judgment skills, and a good way to do this is to get them to give you a commentary on likely hazards as you or they are driving along. If you say to them, as you're driving along, talk to me about all of the hazards that you can see. I can see a car, there's a kid up there on the left just stepping onto a crossing, there's a truck approaching over there, there's a car on the side road, there's a seagull flying across, 2 zombies walking across the road from the right. Like, they will immediately start to notice all of the hazards around. And research has shown that if they're commenting, or if someone else is even commenting for them, even if you're just describing the hazards on the road around them, they start to recognise the hazards better and they track in a different way. You can lift their kind of visual scanning and hazard perception up to the same level as what you do. We asked our driving instructor Harold to demonstrate the driving commentary to both our parents and teen drivers.
Well, I want you to tell me the hazards from now and tell me what you're doing about them, please.
There's a car indicating, so I'm slowing down because he could pull up.
Pedestrians.
At the moment, the sun is actually a hazard. It's a little low in the sky.
And speed bumps.
Yep.
Like this one.
And can you tell me what the yellow sign along the side of the road here means?
It's a compulsory stop 50 metres ahead.
Thank you, well done. So we had to give way to the straight car coming from the right-hand side. So did you take Anya at all when she had never driven before?
She hadn't. I had never taken. Oh, that was very, very close. My goodness.
I want you to tell me the hazards from now and tell me what you're doing about them, please.
Well, there's pedestrians on the left. Stop sign, so I'm stopping, looking both ways.
Do we need to give way to the white car, Anya?
Yeah,
Yep.
now.
Do we need to give way to the silver car, Lizzie?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, we do.
I mean, I always check too that people have actually seen me.
Yeah. So it's not just about the give way rules, it's about being safe.
No, it's about
really.
being safe.
To me, it's just keeping the speed down a little bit and looking all around you at all times, and not at the shop windows or the short skirts.
Yeah.
Harold was impressed by our teen drivers. They had been taught well. However, the parents did show much greater driving awareness than the teens. On the whole, our teens demonstrated good skills and drove well in the situations supervised by adults. But the horrific road toll stats paint a very different picture when it comes to teens driving solo, with their friends, or when they're behind the wheel of their own car. Just because a teenager's old enough to get a licence doesn't necessarily mean they're ready. It's all right to say no to them. You know, they don't have a God-given right to drive at 16. Even though the law says they're allowed to sit their licence at 16, that doesn't mean that you have to kind of get in behind that and do all the... You might decide you need to demonstrate to me that you're mature enough and have the skills to do that before we even start down that process. And just because they've got their restricted licence doesn't mean that they must automatically therefore go out and drive by themselves. Like, that's down to you to say whether or not that's going to happen. And the car thing, it's a really easy thing to control because you just don't give it to them. You just take the keys away. Or if you've got a big muscly teenager who sort of, you know, takes the keys and take a wheel, just jack it up. Take a wheel. Don't even take the whole wheel, just take all the wee lug nut things and say, fine, but I'm keeping the lug nuts, and then you can have these when I think you're at a reasonable level to do that stuff. It's fine to set your own limits for them about what you think is appropriate. And you might set different limits for different kids. Just because your brother got to do this when he was your age doesn't mean you do. Why? That's not fair. No, but you're slightly dizzier than your brother.
Well, we had our ups and downs, and Mrs. Kravitz's cat will be sadly missed, but you made it. Congratulations, love. You've got your restricted licence. My job here is done.
This isn't over yet.
It's not?
Dad, have you not been watching the show?
Yeah, but...
A parent's responsibility doesn't end once their child has their restricted.
I feel like Al Pacino in The Godfather. Just when I thought it was out, they pulled me back in.
Relax, Larry. The kid obviously knows her way around a car. And what she doesn't know, she'll pick up fast enough on the open road. That's how you learnt. Am I right or am I right?
Well,
Besides, me and my mates will be here to keep an eye on her for you.
Get out of this car.
Are you all right, Dad?
I'm fine, love. I'll tell you what, why don't we go for a spin down the motorway and you can talk me through it?
Sweet.